In this video, we'll be discussing the different ways to trade gold, specifically between XAUUSD, GLD, the gold ETF, or gold futures. And in this video, my hope is to help you find which one of these options is best for your personal trading, whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, and the different options that you have in front of you. Let's jump in. As we get started, if you could do me a big favor and hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and let's go. First up, we're going to be talking about trading XAUUSD. This is the spot gold CFD option that many traders are very well aware of, especially if you're outside of the United States. So first of all, XAU, this is the periodic table, the AU option, right? And if it's silver, it's actually XAG, right? So the AG, just figured people may not know that. Some people do, some people don't. Just a fun fact for XAUUSD traders. Let's talk about some of the pros and cons to trading with specifically XAUUSD. So the first thing is that this is a highly liquid and a very tight spread trading vessel. This is one of the big positives. The other thing is that you can trade 24/5 using XAUUSD. Most CFD brokerages give you the option to trade this around the clock for most days of the week. Of course, this is closed on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, those hours depend on where you are in the world specifically, so check with your individual brokerage. Another major pro to trading XAUUSD is, of course, the leverage accessibility. In fact, it gives you quite a bit of leverage for most CFD brokerages. The cons that you have to look into are, of course, the same thing here, leverage, right? So leverage is the double-edged sword. It can get you some really big gains if you're correct about something. It can also cost you a pretty penny if you're wrong. So leverage is both a pro and a con on this list, and XAUUSD by its very nature carries a lot of leverage, even on minimum contract sizes. That is one of the downsides. The other thing is that it has a high overnight fees. If you hold XAUUSD overnight, there can be some pretty costly overnight holding costs associated when you're trading specifically gold spot CFDs. Another thing you have to watch out for is many sketchy brokerages out there will offer this product to US traders, and I think that's a very, very big red flag to consider. Finally, another downside for my US traders out there, this is an illegal product for US traders to trade with. More on that in a bit. So who is XAUUSD good for? Well, it's best for short-term day traders that are outside specifically of the United States. It's not great for traders holding longer term or specifically swing traders. It's especially bad for longer term investors and swing traders that hold trades for many days or weeks. And the reason for this is because what we discussed with swap fees or overnight holding fees, this can be a very costly thing to hold over time. It's also a poor option for small trading accounts due to the large contract size, and many traders know some horror stories that have traded XAUUSD on a small trading account. Even a 0.01 lot on a Forex brokerage or a CFD brokerage is already a very big size. If you have a small trading account, you'll see your P&L swing quite heavily, even on a 0.01 lot size. And in my opinion, although some people will disagree with it, and that's totally fine, I think you need at least a $10,000 account in order to trade 0.01 lots on a gold CFD brokerage. The reason for this is that even with a 0.01 lot size, if you have a reasonably distanced stop loss, that can be a very big loss even with a 0.01 lot size. So I think you need to have, on a proportional basis, more capital in the trading account if you're going to be trading XAUUSD. That's my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree with me. I'm not here to discuss that or debate that. That's just my opinion on the matter. Also, for US traders, stick around because I'll talk more about how we can still trade gold. We just can't do it through XAUUSD. So let's talk quickly about XAUUSD for US traders. And if you are not a US trader and this does not apply to you, feel free to skip to the next chapter of this video. The short answer is you can't trade XAUUSD as a US citizen on a regulated brokerage. The reasoning for this is that anything that is complying with US law will not allow you to trade XAUUSD simply because XAUUSD is a CFD, a contract for differences, and these are illegal for US traders due to the leverage involved with these products. And this does not necessarily make contract for differences a bad thing per se. It's just that for whatever reason, the US government has decided that that product should not be allowed to be traded by US traders. I don't make the rules. I'm just here sharing some experience with you on this topic. Some US traders, however, choose to trade XAUUSD on an unregulated or offshore brokerage. I personally do not think this is a wise idea. Brokerages that are offering you XAUUSD as a US citizen are doing so outside of the compliance of US law. If an unregulated brokerage shuts down and walks away, your funds are 100% lost. The reason for this is you have no legal recourse to my understanding. I'm not a law professional, so please consult a professional if you need more help on this topic. But in my opinion, stay away from unregulated offshore brokerages offering XAUUSD simply because your funds are not safe. Stay tuned because I'll show you some regulated ways that US traders can still trade gold. And when I say regulated, what I'm speaking of specifically is ways that your funds can be protected by a government oversight. So for traders outside of the United States that would like to trade XAUUSD, I've got a couple options that I've put together for you that will hopefully give you some good ideas to choose from. The first option is 8cap, which is a long-term sponsor of my content, so you should take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I would encourage you to do your research on 8cap. They're a wonderful brokerage. They have tight spreads, high leverage options, and many different trading platforms, and they're regulated by multiple jurisdictions around the world, including ASIC, FCA, and SEC, I think you say, CYSEC. The alternative option that I have for you is Vantage. Vantage Markets has competitive spreads, high leverage options, also offers MT4, MT5, TradingView, and is well regulated as well. In the description of this video down below, we have several offer links available to you to explore these options, and each of them have unique special offers available to you as a subscriber. If you use those specific links, you'll be supporting my channel. Those are referral links, and I appreciate your support of my work. Additionally, there are some special sign-up perks specifically offered to my subscribers that choose to use the links in the description down below. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison of 8cap versus Vantage in case you want to pause the video and take a closer look at your options here between the two that I just mentioned. And like I said, the links will be in the description down below if you'd like to explore either option. The next way to trade gold that we're going to be discussing is GC or gold futures. For those of you who are not super familiar with futures, I would encourage you to definitely do your research on this topic further before proceeding with this. But this is a great option for many traders, especially US traders who are more on the day trading side. So let's talk about it. Some of the pros of trading gold futures is that they are highly liquid. They have tight spreads, and there is 24/5 trading. So you can trade many different hours around the clock for those trading futures. And then finally, they have some great leverage accessibility, which, as we discussed in the previous prompt, is also a negative because you can get yourself into trouble with leverage. So just explore your options and trade carefully with that. Also, we have expiration dates and rollovers. These are a negative thing in my view, especially if you're a swing trader, because this can cut into your trading costs simply by having expiration dates. The way futures contracts work, rollovers and expiration dates can cost you some fees. So I would encourage you to look into that topic in more detail before proceeding with futures. The other thing is that there is some complexity here, especially for beginners who may not be familiar with futures. So I definitely encourage you to explore that more. The other thing is that there is some higher capital requirements when it comes to trading futures, and it's not super suitable for very small trading accounts. So let's recap some of the ideas here. For gold futures, this is best for short-term day traders and short-term swing traders, specifically short-term swing traders in the United States looking for a regulated way to trade gold. Again, this is a regulated option for those looking to trade gold in the United States. And very specifically, I'm going to say that this is probably the best option for US day traders. It's also a great option for options traders wanting to trade gold specifically. You can trade futures contracts or futures options as well. It's a poor option, however, for those with small trading accounts due to the large capital requirements needed. And again, I'm going to say you probably need at least $10,000 in an account to trade, small account size numbers. For those looking for a brokerage, I have two options here that will both be linked in the description of this video. First of all is the brokerage that I use. I trade with Webull. There's low trading costs. It has a powerful proprietary trading platform. In fact, this is why I absolutely love Webull. I love the trading platform that they offer. It's very, very top of class. And then they're also well regulated here in the United States. Your secondary option is Plus 500, which has low trading costs, also another powerful proprietary trading platform, and also well regulated. And again, there's some special sign-up links available using the referral links in the description of this video below. Here's a side-by-side comparison of Plus 500 and Webull. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to take a closer look. Finally, let's talk about the third way to trade gold, which is available mostly to US traders, but also to non-US traders as well. Now we're talking about GLD, which trades like a stock, but it is actually backed by physical gold. This is GLD, the ETF, which is an exchange traded fund that trades on the US stock market. So the pros here, and by the way, just a heads up, this is actually what I trade. I trade the GLD ETF. It is my favorite thing to trade when trading gold. The reason for this is because I am a swing trader / position trader. And so oftentimes I do hold trades longer. This is actually a very cost efficient way for me to do so. The pros of trading GLD are that it's highly liquid, tight spreads like the other two options, but there's actually also a low capital requirement to trading GLD. Because it trades in shares and there is no leverage involved, you can actually trade GLD with just a few $100s minimum in a trading account. The other beautiful thing about this is the low holding costs, which are the ideal reason for why I personally trade GLD. Overnight costs are much less using this one. And another pro is that you can also use options through GLD. There is an entire options chain dedicated to trading this ETF through options, whether you want to buy calls, buy puts, sell puts, etc. And as you'll see with all of these options, there are definitely some considerations to think about as well. You have less trading hours. This is a big negative, especially if you're a day trader or you want to trade more flexible hours. GLD might not be for you. There's also gaps that get put into GLD. Let me show you what that looks like. So I've got a trade running on GLD, and you can see, as I mentioned earlier, I like to swing trade and position trade, so I hold things for a longer period of time. So I'm in this trade for the last week and a half. It's actually one of my best trades ever, so let me not downplay. This is probably one of the best gold trades I've ever had. So I'm on a real nice win streak with this one, but I also wanted to just disclose here that the downside of GLD are these gaps. Many traders do not like that this chart does not have as many tradable hours, so it produces gaps in the chart. Personally, I actually don't mind that, and I actually like looking at gaps, so it's kind of a pro or a con depending on who you ask. But what you can see here is that we're trading shares. So I have 1,400 shares of GLD. The current price of GLD when taking the trade was about $273. So that's $273 times 1,400 shares. So when trading shares, it's very simple, and I love that about trading GLD. It's not a complex concept like futures or even XAUUSD in terms of position sizing. Another major negative is that there is no leverage and there's tax implications when trading GLD that are less advantageous than when you trade gold futures for US traders. Now, I'm not a tax professional, so I'd encourage you to do your own research on this and consult a tax professional on this topic. Another negative, and it's hard to explain simply, so I'll do my best. There's a slight tracking error between GLD and gold spot prices due to the expense ratio by the people who run this ETF. There's a slight cost. I believe it is 0.4% per year in holding costs. So over the course of the year, your $1,000 will subtract 0.4% from that in terms of an expense ratio for holding the chart. Again, I would encourage you to look up expense ratio if you'd like some more information about this topic. So who is GLD for? Well, it's best for swing traders and investors like myself looking for low-cost ways to hold gold for a longer period of time. It's also a great option for small trading accounts simply because you do not need that much money in order to buy a share of GLD. As I mentioned, it's under $300, so you could trade one share for under $300. And many brokerages in the stock market world, which is what you would need in terms of trading GLD, is a stock brokerage. You can trade a single share at a time, or in some brokerages like the one I'm about to tell you, you can actually even trade fractional shares, meaning you could do half of one share or a quarter of one share, etc. Another major negative just to consider is that the gaps in limited trading hours make this less attractive for many day traders especially. So the brokerage that I have for you in terms of GLD is again Webull, something that I have personally traded with for many years now, and a brokerage that I absolutely love. Their trading platform is amazing, they're well regulated, and I've been able to trade GLD on that platform for many years, as you just saw, even directly on TradingView.com. There's a special offer link in the description down below this video if you'd like to explore Webull. I hope this topic was helpful to you in finding which option for trading gold is best for you. Each one has a pro and a con, and I would encourage you to take some time in the description of this video to explore all of your different brokerage options when choosing one for trading gold. If you're interested in learning more about trading gold, I have several strategy videos and more helpful topics on the subject in this playlist that you're now seeing popping up on the screen right now on the YouTube end screen. Check out this playlist to find out more information about trading gold and all the things that I've learned over the years. Thank you for watching.